Mars in Astrology Explained, Occult Symbolism and Deeper Truth. In the early history of mankind, planets were regarded as human beings, connected with daily life, influencing man's existence in some mysterious way and controlling their destiny. They were ancestors, heroes, and benefactors who, after a life on Earth, were transported to the heavens, where they continue to rule over earthly affairs. The basis of mythology is the worship of the solar Great Father, the lunar Great Mother, and all the celestial bodies. In many ancient cultures, Mars was thought to be a supernatural entity or deity, such as Nergal in Mesopotamia, Mangal in India, Aries in Greece, and Mars in Rome. Mars is often associated with war, aggression, masculinity, action, and agricultural fertility in mythology, while also symbolizing energy, courage, and transformation in metaphysical contexts. Additionally, the planet Mars is recognized for its red color attributed to surface iron minerals and the warrior archetype, embodying qualities such as assertiveness, combativeness, passion, directness, and primal instinct. Mars is the initiator of action and conflict, also the defender, and the emblem of determination to pursue one's path with vigor and intensity. It is not about brute force alone, but honest confrontation with the realities that demand action and change. The Mars archetype involves unshakable courage to face adversity, a powerful drive to pioneer, and a readiness to defend one's integrity, private property, and goals. In occult astrology and mythology, Mars reflects transformation, willpower, and the desire to conquer and protect. It is associated with strength and righteous anger, or sacred fury, that fuels transformation and change. It is linked to the root chakra and the warrior pose in yoga, signifying grounding, survival, and foundational energy. In esoteric traditions, Mars is associated with iron, representing strength, resilience, and transformation through fire and heat. Martian energy is invoked in disciplines like crystal healing, alchemy, and tarot, where it corresponds with powerful forces of change, such as the Tower card, involving upheaval that leads to growth. In astrology, Mars represents energy, action, desire, and aggression. It is the natural ruler of the first and eighth houses, which relate to ambition, drive, aggressivity, transformation, and secrets, among others. Mars' position in the zodiac and its aspects to the other planets influence how its energy is expressed in an individual's life and chart. Mars stays in each sign of the zodiac for 4 to 6 weeks. Knowing your Mars sign offers deep insight into your basic desires and how you take action. It reveals how you express your energy, handle conflict, pursue goals, and assert your individuality. Your Mars sign also indicates your style of sexual expression, motivation, and competitive nature. Mars rules the sign of Aries and is exalted in Capricorn. For example, Mars in Aries shows impulsive, pioneering action and boldness. These individuals are driven to take immediate action and often thrive on challenges and competition. They are assertive, independent, energetic, and unapologetically direct. Each Mars sign offers a clear view into your inner warrior and motivator. Mars is associated with Tuesday. The word Tuesday comes from the Old English word Tuesdag, which means Tuesday. Tui, also known as Tyr in Norse mythology, was a god of war, law, and justice. Tuesday is named after this Germanic god of war, who was equated with the Roman god Mars. Thus, Tuesday corresponds to the Latin Dies Martis, meaning Day of Mars, and in Romance languages, the name for Tuesday is Mars in Romanian, Mardi in French, Martes in Spanish, and Martedì in Italian. In Chinese astrology, Mars represents the fire element and is known as the star of fire, Shuo-Xing. It represents passionate, energetic, and adventurous qualities. It embodies the dynamic energy of yang force and the will to confront challenges directly. It is linked to the zodiac sign of the dragon, symbolizing strength, courage, and determination. Mars is considered a planet of power and self-empowerment, which resonates well with the mighty and respected dragon sign. In Jyotish, Vedic astrology of India, Mars is the Mangal Graha. The word Mangal literally means auspicious, fortunate, or blessed in Sanskrit. Mars governs qualities related to leadership, initiative, persistence, and resilience. It is often associated with warriors, athletes, surgeons, and anyone excelling through courage and discipline. Mars plays a significant role in Vedic astrological charts, influencing courage, competition, aggression, and the ability to overcome obstacles. Mars is a Tamasic planet in Jyotish. Mars' movement through the Nakshatras, lunar mansions, symbolizes action, transformation, desire, and dynamic energy. Here's a summary of Mars' interpretation and meanings in astrology. Western astrology, tropical. Mars symbolizes the raw and dynamic force that motivates individuals to take initiative and pursue their desires. The planet embodies both constructive qualities like courage and assertiveness and potentially destructive traits such as anger, impulsiveness, and conflict. Sidereal astrology, Vedic. In sidereal astrology, which is closely aligned with Vedic astrology principles, Mars, Mangal, represents energy, courage, strength, ambition, and action. It is deeply connected with qualities such as leadership, self-motivation, aggressive pursuit of goals, and overcoming obstacles with courage. In the birth chart, Mars influences the muscular system, physical strength, and the ability to confront competitors and enemies. It can bring both constructive drive and destructive aggression, depending on its placement and strength in the chart. This alignment makes Mangal's sign in a sidereal chart different from a tropical one, reflecting the current rather than an ancient celestial position. The sidereal system, often used in Vedic astrology, accounts for the precession of the equinoxes, which has caused the two zodiac systems to drift apart over time. It carries a more astronomical basis and incorporates wider cosmic influences such as lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu, and Nakshatras, lunar mansions. The sidereal system emphasizes the physical reality of celestial positions, considered crucial for precise predictions and remedies, within a system that integrates karmic and dharmic concepts unique to Vedic thought. In Vedic astrology, there are also time cycles called dasha and antardasha, periods of life ruled by a planet, Mars in this case, highlighting potential challenges and results related to its transits and aspects. Both systems view Mars as a symbol for drive, action, and courage, though the sidereal approach is more astronomically exact and tied to Vedic philosophy, while tropical astrology emphasizes psychological identity and seasonal symbolism. The modern glyph comes from the Renaissance and is the alchemy symbol for iron. The glyph can have multiple meanings. It is closely connected to the third stage in the great work, alchemy, separation. The process involves isolating and purifying the various components of a substance. On a psychological level, separation represents an analytical process. It is the ability to break down a situation and gain mental clarity, even if it brings a temporary sense of detachment. Mars is also incredibly important in a practice known as astral medicine or medical astrology. In medical astrology, Mars rules the body's energetic, active systems, including the muscles, blood, and nerve tissue. It is also associated with the bile, head, genitals, and urinary tract, as well as substances like iron and adrenaline. A strong Mars indicates good physical stamina and immunity, while a weak Mars can point to issues such as muscle atrophy, inflammation, anemia, and injuries. An afflicted weak Mars can signify mental or emotional disorders, sometimes linked to conditions like chronic anger or the inability to handle stress. In Ayurveda, Mangal represents the fire element and is strongly associated with the Pitta dosha, body type, bringing heat and inflammation. To manage Mars's fiery influence, incorporating regular exercise, meditation, and a diet rich in cooling foods can help stabilize the energy. Astrological considerations. In Vedic astrology, Mars can be a source of both vulnerability and strength, depending on its placement in an individual's horoscope. Mars is a dry and fiery planet, symbolizing the vital force of fire that drives action and progression. It is also considered a protector of Dharma, or righteous living and order. By understanding Mars's influence in one's birth chart, individuals can take preventative measures to support their health and well-being, focusing on healthy practices and addressing potential issues indicated by Mars's placement. The occult meanings of Mars highlight its role as the planet of transformation, sacrifice, and the awakening of inner strength and willpower, guiding the soul through trials toward higher consciousness. Esoterically, Mars can also signify the desire for physical incarnation. It symbolizes the soul's descent into matter, reflecting the process where the higher self sacrifices its purity to manifest in the physical world. In occult astrology, Mars is considered not just a physical celestial body, but a cosmic and transcendental force that shapes the inner self and connects our earthly experience to the absolute. Interpretation in Sidereal and Tropical Astrology. Sidereal Astrology, Vedic. Mars's placement by zodiac sign in the Sidereal Astrology, specifically Vedic Jyotish natal chart, reveals how the soul's core qualities manifest through personality, behavior, and life purpose. Mars in Aries, Mesha. Strong, assertive, pioneering, and impulsive, represents raw energy, leadership, and courage to start new ventures. Mars in Taurus, Vrishaba. Persistent, steady, and determined. Drive is manifested through patience and material security. It can be stubborn. Mars in Gemini, Mithuna. Energetic, communicative, and restless. It expresses action through ideas and mental activity, versatile but can be scattered. Mars in Cancer, Karka. Protective, emotional, and defensive. Energy channeled into caring and nurturing but can be moody and indirect. Mars in Leo, Sima. Confident, proud, and charismatic. It drives personal expression, creativity, and leadership. Dramatic and passionate. Mars in Virgo, Kanya. Analytical, precise, and hard-working. Energies focused on service, perfectionism, and attention to detail. Mars in Libra, Tula. Diplomatic, charming but indecisive. Energy expressed through partnerships and balance, avoiding direct conflict. Mars in Scorpio, Vrishika. Intense, passionate, and strategic. It represents transformation, deep desire, and emotional power with a will to conquer. Mars in Sagittarius, Danu. Adventurous, optimistic, and freedom-loving. Action directed toward exploration, philosophy, and expansion. Mars in Capricorn, Makar. Mars is exalted in this sign, making a person disciplined, ambitious, and patient. It has strong willpower and the ability to achieve long-term goals. Mars in Aquarius, Kumbha. Innovative, independent, and humanitarian. Energy used for unique ideas and social causes, but can be rebellious. Mars in Pisces, Meena. Compassionate, intuitive, and adaptable. Energy flows through creativity and spirituality, sometimes lacking directness. Understanding Mars's position within one's Vedic chart offers profound insight into our core identity, leadership potential, health, and how we radiate life energy into the world. Tropical Astrology. Mars in tropical astrology governs how a person asserts their will, takes initiative, manages conflict, and expresses physical and sexual energy, modifying these qualities according to the characteristics of each zodiac sign. Mars in Aries. Bold, dynamic, and impulsive energy. It acts quickly, displays leadership and courage, driven to take initiative. Mars in Taurus. Slow but steady energy. Determined, persistent, motivated by security. It enjoys physical and sensual pleasures. It values stability. Mars in Gemini. Energetic and curious. Quick-witted, loves mental challenges, communicates assertively, restless, and adaptable. Mars in Cancer. Emotionally driven and protective. Energy channeled into nurturing and defense. Can be indirect or moody. Mars in Leo. Proud, confident, and charismatic. Actions express creativity, passion, and leadership. Dramatic and enthusiastic. Mars in Virgo. Precise, analytical, and hard-working. Energy used in service, perfectionism, and practical tasks. Mars in Libra. Diplomatic, charming, and cooperative. It avoids direct conflict, expresses energy through partnerships and balance. Mars in Scorpio. Intense, strategic, and passionate. Deep emotional strength, transformative, determined to overcome. Mars in Sagittarius. Optimistic, adventurous, and freedom-loving. energy directed toward exploration, learning, and broadening horizons. Mars in Capricorn, disciplined, ambitious, and structured, exalted Mars sign with strong willpower and focused drive for success. Mars in Aquarius, innovative, independent, and humanitarian, energy goes into social change, intellectual pursuits, and rebellion against norms. Mars in Pisces, compassionate, intuitive, and adaptable, energy expressed through creativity and spirituality, sometimes indirect or escapist. Mars's occult meanings converge on life and sovereignty, with Sidereal astrology incorporating a cosmic and karmic realism, whereas Western astrology frames it in terms of symbolic, psychological, and seasonal cycles within the tropical year. These interpretations align with syncretic, occult, and esoteric traditions, viewing Mars as a catalyst for ambition and transformation. These occult perspectives deepen the understanding of Mars in personal charts by viewing it as a guide to higher purpose, enlightenment, and the integration of the self with divine consciousness, thus enhancing astrology's role as a tool for mystical evolution rather than just personality analysis. What do you think of the role of Mars in astrology? Let us know in the comments, subscribe, and share the video with every person you know. Stay tuned for upcoming courses, tarot readings, new alternative research, and more. See you on the next one.